Have you ever wondered what actually breaks a man? We talk a lot about women's rights, and we should. We talk about the struggles of motherhood, and we must. But there is a silence, a very loud silence, growing in the hearts of husbands today. It is not usually the financial pressure that breaks him. It is not the long hours at work. A man can carry the weight of the world on his shoulders if he knows he is a hero to the people he is carrying it for. But what happens when he comes home to a place where he feels unseen? What happens when the protector feels constantly disrespected by the very people he is protecting? He doesn't scream, he doesn't cry, he just goes quiet. The light leaves his eyes. He becomes a roommate in his own marriage. Today we are going to break that silence. We are going to speak about the rights of the husband in Islam. And I promise you, this is not what you think. This is not about control. It is not about culture. It is about the psychology of how God created men, and why, if you ignore these rights, even the most loving, marriage will eventually collapse. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Before we dive deep, let me make one thing very clear. This video is not here to bash women. It's not here to make men feel superior. We live in a time of gender wars, where everyone is fighting for their rights and forgetting their mercy. We are taking a different path today. We are looking at this through the lens of the Quran, the authentic Sunnah, and, surprisingly, modern psychology. Because you will see that what psychologists are discovering today about the male brain, Islam told us 1400 years ago. We want this message to reach every corner of the Ummah. From which country and city are you watching this video? Please write in the comments. I read your comments and it connects our hearts. To understand a husband's rights, you first have to understand his burden. In modern culture, we often hear that rights are about power. I have the right to do this, so I have power over you. But in Islam, rights are not tools of power. They are tools of support. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls the husband the Qawwam. A Qawwam is not a dictator sitting on a throne. A Qawwam is the pillar that holds up the roof so the house doesn't fall on the family. Think about it. Islam placed the entire financial burden on the man. Even if his wife is a millionaire, he has no right to her money, but he must spend his on her. He is tasked with her physical protection. He is answerable to Allah for the religious guidance of his home. That is a mountain of responsibility. Now ask yourself this simple question. If you ask a man to carry a mountain on his back, but you don't give him any food, and you constantly kick his legs while he walks, what will happen? He will collapse. The rights of the husband in Islam are simply the food, the water, and the stability he needs to carry that mountain. They are not there to feed his ego. They are there to fuel his responsibility. Let's bring in modern psychology. This is crucial for every wife and every husband to understand. Relationship experts and psychologists have found a profound truth about men. For a woman, the primary language of love is often affection and emotional safety. But for a man, the primary language of love is respect. Dr. Emerson Eggerichs, a leading researcher, asked hundreds of men a choice. Would you rather feel alone and unloved, or would you rather feel inadequate and disrespected? 74% of men said they would rather feel unloved than disrespected. Why? Because Allah wired men with a drive for purpose and competence. A man needs to feel that he matters, that he is capable, that he is the captain of his ship. When a husband is constantly criticized, when his decisions are always questioned, when he is compared to other men, it cuts him deeper than you realize. It attacks his core identity. Psychology tells us that when a man feels disrespect, he hits a trigger called stonewalling. He shuts down. He stops talking. He stops engaging, not because he doesn't care, but because he is emotionally overwhelmed. Islam protected the marriage from this breakdown by codifying respect into a divine right. So what are these rights? Let's look at the three biggest ones, stripped of culture and rooted in truth. Right number one, leadership and cooperation. This is the most controversial one today. People hear the word obedience and they think of a master and a slave. This is false. The relationship between husband and wife is mawadda, love, and Rama, mercy. But every ship needs a captain. Imagine a car with two steering wheels. If the husband turns left and the wife turns right, the car crashes. The family is destroyed. In Islam, the husband is given the tie-breaking vote. He should consult his wife, Shura. He should listen to her advice, just as the Prophet listened to his wives. But once a decision is made about where to live, how to raise the kids, financial direction, if it is not sinful, the wife cooperates. She backs him up. She gives him the dignity to lead. But wait, leadership isn't just about decisions. There is a second right, one that social media is destroying every single day. Right number 2, protection of his honor and privacy. A man's home is his sanctuary. The world outside is a battlefield for him, competitive, harsh, exhausting. When he comes home, he has the right to peace. This means a wife protects his secrets. She does not complain about his flaws to her mother. She does not mock his earnings in a WhatsApp group with her friends. She does not allow people into the home whom he dislikes or distrusts. When a wife exposes her husband's weaknesses to the world, she strips him of his armor. How can he be your king if you are telling the village he is a fool? Right number 3, emotional and physical intimacy. This is a sensitive topic, but we are adults, and Islam is a complete way of life. In a world full of fitna, full of temptation at every swipe of a phone, marriage is the fortress. A husband has a right to physical intimacy with his wife. But listen closely. Psychology tells us this isn't just about a physical urge. For men, physical intimacy is often the only time they drop their guard. It is how they feel emotionally connected. It is how they feel reassurance. When this is weaponized, I won't come near you until you buy me this, or when it is neglected due to busyness, the husband feels rejected at a soul level. It opens the door for shaitan. Fulfilling this right is a form of sadaqah, charity, and protection for the entire family structure. I need every brother watching this to listen to me very carefully. If you have been nodding your head thinking, yes, tell her, these are my rights, you are missing the point. Islam is about balance, mizan. You cannot demand the rights of a king if you are acting like a tyrant. You cannot demand the rights of a protector if you are the one your wife needs protection from. Rights come with accountability. The Prophet Muhammad said, "The best of you are those who are best to their wives." He mended his own clothes. He played with his family. He listened to them. He never hit a woman. He never insulted a woman. He was the Qawwam because he served them, not because he enslaved them. If you use these rights to humiliate your wife, to control her every breath, to lock her up physically or mentally, you are not following Islam. You are following your ego. And Allah hates oppression. Do not think that because you are a man, you are immune. Allah is the greatest Qawwam, and He will ask you about your flock. The modern world is confused. It tried to make men and women exactly the same. And what is the result? Marriages are failing. Men are depressed. Women are exhausted. No one knows their role. It is chaos. Islam offers clarity. It says, men, you have this lane. Women, you have that lane. You are equal in the eyes of Allah, but your duties are different. When a husband is given his rights, respect, leadership, peace, he blooms. He becomes the man who would die to protect you. And when a wife is given her rights, love, care, provision, she blooms. She becomes the coolness of his eyes. My brothers and sisters, marriage is an amana, a trust. It is a short journey. We are here to help each other get to Jannah. Don't let your ego destroy your home. Don't let culture override the Quran. Give your husband his rights, not because he is perfect, but because you want to please Allah. And husbands, carry your burden with ihsan, excellence, so that on the day of judgment, your wife will witness for you and not against you. Ask yourself tonight, when Allah asks you about the trust He placed in your hands, what will your answer be?